Hello and welcome to my channel, Inviting Possibilities. My name is Rochelle and I'm here to do the weekend message, um, basically combining 2 days into one. um, yeah, weekend message for Saturday and Sunday, September. I'm still in September, October 9th and 10th. Yeah, my birthday is September 10th, so that's probably why that slipped out. But anyway, yeah, we're going to tap in and see what's going on. Tap into the energies of the weekend and um yeah, I feel like I'm going to repeat myself here. So what do we need to know? How about that? What do we need to know? I'm using the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot. And I'm just going to dive in here. We've got the 10 of Wands. Feeling a little burdened going into the weekend, are we? I don't know about you, but I'm definitely feeling this. Feeling this energy in a major way. So burdened, so heavy, carrying so much, wanting to just drop it all, but can you? Can't always. Can't always. Ooh, and we get the Knight of Swords. This is very swift movement, taking swift action. Um, could be communicating something, or someone's coming into you. There's somebody. Either you're on a mission. I mean, if you're situation I'm in, I'm definitely on a mission to make some changes because of this burden that I'm feeling. I think that you definitely are, like, you're very clear that you need to close out a cycle. The cycle is over. It needs to be over if it's not over. And you're like, okay, I'm personally, I'm to a point where I'm like, I'm going to just do whatever I have to do. And sometimes, like, when we're in a situation, when we're facing a situation where we know we need to make a change, but it's not that bad yet, we can be kind of more picky. Well, I want the best case scenario, or I'm not going to make this change. And sometimes what happens is the universe is like, no, you need to get out of this situation. You just need to. You need to be done. And you get to a point where you're like, you're on your knees and you're like, okay, beggars can't be choosers. I will take anything over this. And that's when we kind of it kind of breaks our walls down a little bit, and it makes us much more open to trying new things, because oftentimes the universe has a different idea for us than we have. And we're like, no, I don't like that thing. I want my thing. And this is the kind of situation, it feels like, where we're kind of forced to just be open to anything. And then the universe is like, okay, now you're ready. Now we can move forward. And you're like, all right, yep, yep. And move into, oh, so quickly. You are so done. This feels like you taking all this burden and you're just like throwing it. you're s- you're you're on a mission, and um somehow moving forward very quickly to something new, gaining momentum as you do this. On fire, because you feel left out in the cold. This burden has left you feeling really bad, has left you feeling stuck, has left you feeling y- like nobody cares, nobody has your back. You could feel um like somehow you've been dealing with a situation where you feel some kind of, you're you're disabled in some way. Not necessarily physically, but, like, you're trying to do something, and it's you just keep getting knocked down, and you, like, feel like a part of you is getting broken, and y you're losing the things that bring you comfort in your life. You're cold, and you don't have enough clothes or shoes, and, and here's the lights, and sometimes sometimes this can be interpreted as, like, victim mentality, like, oh, poor me, meanwhile here's this church and you could just go in. But right now I'm kind of reading this as where you don't have access to the inside where it's warm and bright because you've been kicked to the curb, and feeling really, really stressed and hurt about it. um and you're feeling like you have to defend yourself. This is picking up one of your crutches and being like, "You go away." Like, um, I just suddenly thought of the Black Knight in Monty Python's The Holy Grail, um, where he gets his leg cut off and he's like, "It's just a flesh wound." Um, Somehow, like, you're dealing with something that's pretty intense, and you're just like, "You know what? I gotta care for myself. I gotta put myself first." So all y'all, you get away. You're standing your ground. You know what you need to do for you. And you have the upper hand. It's gonna work out. Um, it's gonna work out. Yeah, the world. I mean, this is like that, like, that sigh of relief where you've made it. You've gotten through all mm, the lessons, you've learned the things, you can finally rest and be proud of yourself because you've gotten through this crazy time. This is a card of success and happiness and fulfillment and freedom. This is you having gotten through something. You've bought your freedom to go in a direction that you really want to go in. Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, this is this is you doing something that you really love. Somehow you're figuring out, um it could be that you're just like, well, I know what I want to do. I know what I'm good at. I know what I love. So I'm just going to really just double down and go for it. Card of dry floors. It's so true. My friend Jojo here just had some intense flooding, and shop back that water up. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Uh, um, and as you do that, I don't know. Um, Trying to think of how to relate this to your situation. I'm really relating this to my situation, which is around the job and needing to very decisively let that burden go, um, and do something that I really enjoy, that I'm really good at, and continue to work on my mastery around this. Um, yeah, in this case, somehow those floors will get mopped up. That shop vac is going to come in real handy. Because you figure out, you know what to do, and you're, like, on a mission, and you're going for it, and you're just like, "Okay, gotta make this work out in my favor. That storm left you out in the cold." Oh, man. 3 of Pentacles, which is so great because, And really, like, this situation these cards, what I'm speaking to, can fit so many different situations, right? Um, but really, what it comes down to is when you're focusing on yourself, when you're doing what you love, when you're working on your own mastery, it realigns you with the people in your life who you want to collaborate with, who are who you're not feeling like you have to defend yourself against. This is people who want to help, who are like, "Ooh, I see what you're doing there. Have you thought about this?" And you're like, "Wow, yeah, what a great idea. I hadn't thought about that." And it's like, whereas this is like people just coming at you and you're like, "Whoa." Like, people, rather than saying, "Have you thought about this?" They're like, "No, you have to do this." And you're like, "No, leave me alone. I don't have to do anything. I need to quit, is what I need to do. I need to focus on me." And that gets you back in alignment. And that's this you're completely ending a cycle. We have two cards of pretty major endings here. Um Yeah, major sorry, I'm laughing at my friend Jojo here. Um, yeah, you're completely closing out a cycle, and you've learned your lesson, and a part of closing this out is realizing how much of a burden you've been carrying, and once you release that burden, you're like, "Oh, yes," like, you feel so much lighter. You just wanna go, like, I don't know, get naked and run around, and I don't know. Yeah, some people might. Let me get one more. I mean, why not? It's the weekend, right? Queen of Swords. Yeah, this is you being very decisive in what you know need to do. Having healthy boundaries, speaking your truth, being very clear about what you want, what you need, how you're going to move forward, what you will and won't put up with. You go. Seriously. Two of Pentacles, because you've been feeling out of balance. You're coming back into balance. It's you maybe being at a crossroads, needing to make a choice. Um, yeah, needing to make a choice about leaving something in favor of something else. Sometimes we keep ourselves stuck because we're like, yeah, but like I'm loyal to a fault. I will stay in situations long past their expiration date because I'm like, oh, but I don't want to hurt their feelings. Oh, but I don't want to cause problems. And it's like, does anyone think about that with me? Not always. Five of Cups, Five of Pentacles, and Five of Cups. Feeling sad. I mean, letting anything go. Yeah, you can feel sad. Um, I'm not laughing at you feeling sad. The beautiful thing about this card is that there's always two cups in somewhere that have not overturned. Um, yeah, you have every right to feel sad in this situation, and to allow yourself to feel that. But then to turn around and recognize that there is a silver lining, that there is not all is lost. Not There are still guitars that were unhurt. So, um, things are okay. Things will work out in the end. I do not want to end on the Five of Swords. Come on. Come on, Knight of Pentacles. Yeah. You it seems like, there's this sense of moving forward very quickly, knowing what you need to do to get yourself out of the situation, but also being very methodical, being very grounded in the decisions you make, that you know that you don't want to make any choices out of desperation, that you want to have integrity with who you are, with the people you're dealing with. You're not going to be like, F you, everyone. You're like, no, thank you, but no thank you, right? Thanks, but no thanks. There will be new floors. This is you taking things one step at a time. This guy is all about taking the consistent baby steps. And I mean baby steps. No, don't chew off anything more than you can chew. Just, one little thing at a time. You handle that, you move on to the next thing. You handle that, you move on. Like, try not to get ahead of yourself. And I don't think you are. And you'll get where you need to go. And it will be to a place that you feel so much better in. Let me just pick one more. I just feel like going. The cat will become unmad about the water. Yeah, you have the 7 of cups, which is making a choice. And you might have lots of options, but because you're being very discerning, you're being very methodical about examining each choice. You're picking up each cup and you're really looking at that. What is in that cup? Would that really feel right? You're trying on all these different scenarios and ideas, and it's like you're getting to that point where you understand there is only one right cup for you. And that leads you to the Ace of Cups. All the buckets you need to clean up all that water from the flooding. It's a new beginning. This is a card of new floors. After everything being destroyed from the flood, this is feeling emotionally happy, excited for a new beginning, and moving in a direction that is very fulfilling to you. And this is the universe rewarding you for having done things in the proper way with integrity, um, finally putting yourself first, closing out a major cycle. And the universe is like, here's your graduation present. Yay, yay, yay. All right, there we are. I'm going to call it. That's a longer reading than usual, but hey, it's the weekend. We can all spare a couple extra minutes, right? Um, Jojo, I wish you well and all your critters and all the things. I see new floors in your future. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are in the world and weekend. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And I will see you on the next video. Mwah. And if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and share.